Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Swivel heads, how y'all doing today? This is Greg Allison with Green Greg's. Come to you with Friday fried Green Greg's and ham. For those of you that have never logged any of these sessions, what these are chat sessions for my subscribers just to be a community, because in this day and age of social distancing and lockdown, people don't have the opportunity just to be a community so much. My followers, a lot of them really like being part of the community here. So let me see, I've got to go and enable the chat room. So I'm gonna say hello. If I don't do that, nobody can chat for some reason. So hopefully this gets everything going. So I'll be sitting here watching the chat, because mainly what I do tonight is respond to you. That is the purpose of this video tonight. Let's just have a good chat session with you guys, and for you guys to chat with each other. All right, Vicky Savage is here. Thumbs up. Thank you, Adams Patch. Many blessings from Vicky. We got 12 watching, not a whole lot yet. We just started. I said I was going to start at 11:05. It still took me a little bit longer than I thought. I just had a few things to do. Guys, I had to run and get kerosene tonight for my greenhouse. And the store where I normally get it didn't have it. So I was planning to go from there to go to the grocery store. Well, I didn't even make it to the grocery store, because I found the place I had to go was 10 miles away, and they was going to normally close. So I had to call them to ask them to stay open for me. And I just went over there and got back, and I just got back just a few minutes ago. So yeah, all righty, thumbs up. Hey, I almost said of course to you too. Thank you. Yeah, give me some thumbs up here, guys. Got 18 in the room and only 8 thumbs up. That helps the algorithm. So thank you there, Homestead Aquarius. Rhonda, hello. Granny, hello, Lanny. How you doing? Granny Lanny. Granny Lana. I'll get that right here in a minute. Get my tang tongue on Rob Grimes. Hello. And Jessa Figmentation, like a figment of your imagination. And Tanya Logan, hello to you. Who else we got? Princess Christina of Livonia. I hope I can say that right. And she loves the worms. Appreciate that. Hopefully I'll be selling worms in April. Lady Dagger Status, hello to you. Adams Patch. Oh, let's see. Homestead, of course. I hope it's been a better day for you. I'm just behind. I wanted to do another video entirely. I did not have time to do it. I had another video I really wanted to do tonight, and I didn't have time to do it. I mean, anytime I do one thing or something else comes along, that one thing don't happen. That's the way my life is. You know, it's like a straw full of marbles. You pop one in, one pops out. That's just the way it is. Now I want to do a video on this magnetic field and some new findings about it. If I can hurry up and get it out. You know, I hate being after everybody else on these videos all the time, but you know, it's just hard for me to get videos out on a timely basis, because I got a day job and I just have a lot of things to do with what I got going on here, and I'm behind. I'm severely behind. I have a hard time finding time to pay my bills. I have a hard time finding time to sleep. I haven't got 1099 forms out to my employees, and I already got an appointment next weekend to go to this tax person, and he's complaining to me. So, whoa. All right, so you know, I got a lot to do. It's just the admin. Any business you do, like 70 to 80% of it's admin. You think most of the time is working out in the garden or working at a worm farm. The admin part of it is so big, it's too much, and that's just regular business. Now, when you lay on top of that all this regulation they're trying to come up with, it's rough. I just have a lot of admin to do, and I have a hard time getting to it. I got so much going on, and so I'm behind. I'm severely behind, but also I need to do these videos. I mean, quite frankly, they help me to come up with the wherewithal to do everything else. Mainly, I've got to repair my greenhouse now, and have a lot of other things to do. So, Greg, I saw you getting shouted out as a good site. If we didn't do that on Prepper Nurse one tonight, cool. Who shouted me out, Vicky? Was it Ed or somebody else? A good site tonight. Yeah, I appreciate that. So who shouted me out? Did Ed say anything about it? I haven't really got Ed to say anything to me directly. He's responded to me posting something in a time or two. Richard, okay. And let's see, old as dirt. Evening to you, sir. And Cheery Weather. Good evening, Greg and people. Cheery Weather is one of our compadres who had a greenhouse failure. He said it's back in order now from snow. And Kevin Rankin, Greg, hope all's well with your greenhouses. Well, I got a lot of work to do in that one. I hope I don't get hit by another snow. It's getting below freezing tonight. And like I said, my normal sources for kerosene weren't operable tonight. I'm gonna have to switch over probably to propane next year. Yeah, this running to get kerosene is just too much, and it's expensive. And maybe I can get a heater and automate it a little better. That might help me out if I can get all that done. Well, thank you, Chessa. She says sending good energy. I'm doing pretty well overall. Hope y'all don't mind me rocking. It's just a habit I got. I have a hard time sitting still all day. I can do it like this. I can be like, hello, this is Walter Cronkite. I'm correspondent XYZ from ABXY, whatever. So I'd have to wear a tie or something, wouldn't I? This is our chat session, family time. We can be in a rocker, right? Have to go. Take care. Okay, Homestead Aquarius. Glad you got to pop in. Good to say hi to you. Sorry you have to take off so soon. All right. And Bill Cole, how you doing? 60,000 still without power in northern Oregon. I don't doubt that. Yeah, Texas still having a lot of problems. It's going to be a while to get all this settled out. Arnold Smith. So, Rocket Man, don't you have any friends to help you out in the greenhouse? Yeah, if I pay them. I got some help on the way, but I've got to get some help rebuilding it. Just be you, Greg. Rock on, says Lady Daggerstaff. So, hey, I am. Rock on. We will rock you. But you ain't got any mud in your face. You're not a big disgrace. But you got the grace. All over the place. Turn things around. No point in singing something that runs you in the ground. Plus, the song's got to be so negative all the time, right? I was always that person in school who never held still. All right. Me too. I always had ants in my pants. That's what they always tell me. Ants in my pants, Mexican jumping beans, worms. Might have been worms. Have you been considering building a rocket mass hitter that burns twigs for fuel? No. Reason being, I don't have time to sit there and put twigs in all night. Yeah, they're more efficient, but I'd have to sit in the greenhouse all night and feed twigs to it. Yeah, they're a little bit more maintenance now. Pepper Nurse One had a live stream earlier, and you were mentioned in the chat, and that's cool. So, who mentioned me, Vicky? Did Ed say anything? I'd like to chat with Ed one day. Yeah, his channel's bigger, but he also gets more views proportionally for the size of his channel than I do, as most channels do, it seems. But he don't venture out in some of these what's going on in the world, and he don't tell you all about China. And so that probably makes YouTube unhappy with me. I like to tell you guys really what's happening in the world. I'll give you the straight and skinny on some of these things. Yeah, but he's got a good sized channel, but then again, it's partly because he's more consistent with this broadcast. It's hard for me to do that. I got so many irons in the fire. It's really hard to come in here every night at the same time every night and do everything consistently. It's difficult because it takes time to do this. And if you do a regular video, you got prep time up front. I did put in prep time. I was all ready to go with the video, and I realized I was out of time. I had to make my run for my kerosene, and it's 2 hours later, and I'm just getting back. So if I were to record that video now instead of doing this, it would be 11:45 probably the time I got done. Time I uploaded it be in the morning, and it would be too late for it to do well. If I post a video like that after midnight, it tanks. It don't do any good, at least on my channel. So I'd have to post it early in the morning. Now, I could still possibly do it tonight if I still got my eyeballs open and post it in the morning. I did one this morning like that. It didn't do as good as it probably would have if I'd have posted it at night, quite frankly. I mean, it's doing okay. But my overall videos are down. My overall viewership has been down the past couple of weeks, maybe the past 3 weeks. It's because I hadn't been putting out as many videos. It's just hard to stay on top of that. Build a rocket stove, Greg, says Richard Bell. I thought about it, but gosh, like you said, feeding all them twigs to them. Oh, okay, Vicky, thank you. She says, I'll plug you where I can. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. So what else? We got Storm Watcher, Halo, Casual Hibernate. Greg, your beanie reminds me of a nose cone. Perfect for you, Rocket Man. There you go. Storm Watcher, Halo. Echo in the Forest. Good to see you in here. Jeff Allen. Lots to learn from rock music lyrics. Yeah, no kidding. Let's see, I heard Texas windmills, etc. fell. Yeah. Well, that's part of it. That's part of it. I just did a video talking about that. Posted wee hours this morning. And I'm seeing more stuff. I'd almost like to do another one on that. Wabbits. You caught me calling them wabbits, didn't you? Wascally wabbits. Muddy Funstar was paying attention to my video. So what do you use a wok for, right? You know what a wok is used for? Is the first joke for that. What do you do with a wok? Come on, guy. How's my greenhouse? Well, it's got damage. I got to do some repair work. Got to do some repair work. Alucard. And oh, hi, Brandy. How you doing? Thought most people in Texas would be really prepared. Yeah, they're just not used to this kind of weather. Not at all. My daughter is there, said she'd been there 12 years and they had snow one day and that was it. That first 12 years there. Don't mean, they had a big storm in 2011. They should have learned from that, right? But see what it is. Electrical utilities don't want to spend the money for these oddball chance things. Man, if they know eventually it's going to hit, you got to know it. But they still don't want to put the money in to keep the maintenance up and everything else. Plus, there was also some federal emission regulation standards that some of the capacity was shut down in order for them to meet emission standards. But it wasn't been made up by anything else. The solar panels were covered with snow and the wind vanes were frozen in ice. So wasn't neither one of them working. Wasn't too nice. All right, nobody got my joke here. What do you do with a wok? Especially for Elmer Fudd. What do you do with a wok? No guess? Okay, Texas had so much water damage. No one shut off the water valves. Well, there's that. There is that. Well, if the water was flowing, it shouldn't have been a problem. But if they had water valves on the systems that didn't have flowing water, that could have been a problem. Vicky, Greg, I've been reading lately the major source of income from rabbits is excrement. Well, I feed mine to my worms. That's what I use mine for. Cook wabbit. That's a good one. Cook a wabbit. Yeah, you're getting good. Richard Bell's a little closer. Wok wabbit. Terrible at joke, says Vicky. What you do with the wok? You throw it at a wabbit. You take a wok and you throw it at a wabbit. Throw the wok. Yes, Gypsy. You probably answered that for a second because there's a delay in here. That'd be Elmer Fudd, though, you're right. Yeah, everybody thinks of a wok as, a Chinese piece of cookware that you do stir fry in, right? So somebody should guess cook a wabbit. That's good. Wok wabbit. All right, we had our first joke for tonight. Yo, Greg, what's up, buddy? Hey, hello, says Eric. Hello, Eric. We just told a wabbit joke. All right, unless people got a kick out of that. So, I like to stay a little bit more lighthearted in these sessions if I can. We got such serious topics that cover on my channel. Some of them are very, very serious. But, it's no reason to cry. You can't cry all the time, people. Just because there's things to be concerned about because there's risk out there don't mean you should just chew your fingers off. Poor wabbit. Chances of anybody hitting that poor wabbit with a wok is pretty low. Pretty low. I caught a wild rabbit in my video that I was walking out the greenhouse with the other day. But I don't know if you could see it. If y'all see it in the video, you'd have to look real quick. I saw it, but I'm not sure the camera got it very well. I mean, it was in the field of view. Jeff, I'm a Utahan. Utahan. There's a lady that comes in occasionally who goes by something Utahan. She gets on to me from time to time. She's a little bit more on the atheistic side of the spectrum. Sometimes she gets onto my case about things that don't sit too well with her, but She likes my environmental stuff, I guess. Pete McAuliffe. Okay, that's a good question, Joseph. Asking to Joseph. So let's see. Yeah, that's what y'all got to do. Talk amongst each other. Then the news to tell Texans how to stay safe. Yeah, the news needs to do that. You think, what's the news going to tell you? I did a video on that with Stacy Zavicki several days ago. We covered that. We talked about it. Did y'all see that? And dig shoe spaces in the snow to walk before they thaw. There you go. Well, I use my shoes to do that before it gets too frozen. Sometimes make some holes walking around. I like runny babbits. Fun to watch and eat too, says Old as Dirt. There you go. Yeah, they are good eating. Subbed a bit ago, my daughter turned me on to you, Greg, and she has an apartment-sized worm farm. Does she have them in her apartment? There are people that have worm farms in their apartment. I do know that. And one of my good customers for a long time, my best customer, had worms in her apartment. Problem was that the people on her apartment complex sold out to somebody else, and new buyers would not have it. Not only that, she couldn't satisfy them what they did, and she actually threw her out. Poor girl. She was raising them in her apartment. Judy, because they had to get phone to chat. No electricity in 9 days. Wow, none. It's not. So it's totally out. Well, that's a good. You got a good handle to be talking about such things there, Storm Watcher. Sub-zero. So that's another good handle for our weather. Late live, yeah. Well, like guys, sometimes I just can't come on earlier. I'm busy. I just got back from buying kerosene. I was hoping to go to the grocery store too, but I didn't make it there because I had to go somewhere else to get my kerosene. So it's yeah, I'm pushed for time, guys. I'd actually had planned to do another video and release it prior to this one, but that didn't happen. Greg, I'm curious about Diamond. Is he a vegetarian? He lives in close to the river. Does he fish for the trout? Well, he has chicken, so at least he eats eggs. I don't know of him being a vegetarian. I mean, I've met him. I don't know of him being a vegetarian. He might be. Maybe somebody else can answer that. But he's got a pig. He's got ducks, chickens. So I'm assuming he eats eggs at least. I don't know beyond that. Sometimes women know better. Come times not. What does that mean, Lord Child? Come times not. Quite follow you there, Lord Child. I don't know. They're going to have to bury the water and sewer lines 8 feet below the ground. Well, that's a whole lot lower than we normally bury them in this neck of the woods. About 18 inches is what we shoot for around here. And I am a lot cooler climate than is Houston. Trying to make my last two. Yeah, see, that's what happened to me, Gypsy. I tried to stretch my kerosene because I knew I was having problems with my vehicle back a couple of days ago, and I didn't want to have to run out and get it. And I was trying to stretch it. If I'd had that greenhouse preheated, it might not have had that problem. Also, I probably shouldn't have sat in here so late. Greg, let's have lunch. Where are you at, Sub-Zero? Where are you located, Sub-Zero, E? Gonna do lunch. So, AA Beverages. Monkey Works has power and water and a Lone Star site. That's good. Well, some people do. A lot more have it now than did. And that's good too. I did mention that, I think, this morning's video. Hate earwigs. Yeah, there's a lot of bugs in Florida. The farther south you go, the more bugs you get. I get it 20 below, and frost line here is 4 foot. 4 foot down. Well, that's a good ways to bury stuff. Yeah, I see way up north, you bury them even deeper. I remember what they buried them at in Alaska. Yeah, I lived in a townhouse up there on base, and we had a full basement. Put a bunch of stuff in that basement. Boy, it got flooded in there, run everything. I mean, it flooded. That basement got flooded really bad. Storm Watcher, how much snow did you get in Alabama? I didn't lose power, but I got about 3 inches. Well, I had ice before the snow. That don't count the ice. We had ice and we had snow. The snow, it might have been a little more than 3 inches because it probably settled down. So it had been raining a little bit before I measured it. And we might have got a little bit after that, just a dusting. Juanita's Georgia, Florida homestead, Georgia, Florida. So you on the Georgia, Florida line? There's a magnetic station in Tallahassee, Florida, that when they turn it on, storm split and go around Tallahassee. Borrow one of those. Fun stuff. Cole Thing says, I am in Texas and this was unprecedented. Don't watch the news as though do not tell the whole story. Of course they don't. And Gypsy said, last year I had a Chemco Olympia heater in my RV. Should have spent my money on the year. So how was the RV treating you there? And Richard Bell. So of course, 20 below is rare here. We have actually I've seen 10 below in Alabama on one occasion. Believe it or not, it was the winter after I got back from Alaska, and I thoroughly enjoyed it when it got 10 below. I was walking outside and feeling that frost forming in my nose, like I was so used to feeling in Alaska. I missed that. Prickly feeling inside your nostrils as your nose hairs are freezing, frosting up. You always had to carry handkerchiefs around up in Alaska. I guess it's got to be 10 below for that. Star L. Parnell, love Bama, lower LA, lower Alabama, Dothan area. That's where my worms originally came from. Slocum, which is right there next to Dothan. Just fish equal protein. They do. TV, fine, unprepared here. Yeah, TV is. I don't watch TV. Greg, do you have earwig type bugs in your worms? I've got what you call springtails. They're springtails, and they don't hurt anything. And you'll also find some mites sometimes, but usually if I got springtails, I don't have mites. It's usually one or the other. Some people tell me they get both. But I've never had beds that really had both of them. It's usually just one. I used to have little mites, and then once the springtails came out, I didn't have hardly any. So, a worm bed's a living, it's a little biosphere. It's going to have little critters in there. And most of them are just fine. The thing you got to watch out for is centipedes. Centipedes eat worms. Hello, Amanda. How you doing? Good to see Amanda be in the house. Lord Child 23. Sand Mountain is never far from my Chattanooga thoughts, Green Greg's. Well, good. I grew up on Sand Mountain. Sand Mountain runs almost to Chattanooga, by the way, up to Trenton, Georgia, where my parents got married. So Sand Mountain does run up from through Alabama, right into Georgia, almost to Chattanooga. And Lookout Mountain, all of you people have heard of the Battle of the Clouds and the war that was not so civil that occurred in the Chattanooga area. And so everybody thinks about Chattanooga when you think about Lookout Mountain. Most of Lookout Mountain is in Alabama. And there's a nice little canyon there. So Lord Child, how long you been in Chattanooga? Did you grow up there? So Vicky Savage, Chattanooga's a beautiful town, guys. You should check it out. You got this little incline railroad that goes up Lookout Mountain to the park up there. It's cold when you step. All right, let me see what Vicky said. It's cold when you step outside, take a breath, and you feel the hairs in your nostrils freeze all the way down your lungs. That's right. Missed that. I know Slocum. I lived in Columbia. Okay. So the lady that used to have I got my worms from originally had a little worm farm there. It was called Red Worm Country. And her name was Lorraine. And her, I guess, living boyfriend, or practically husband, was named Tom Dowie, I believe. He passed away before I got worms from him. And so she was running it by herself. And she was pushing 80. I think she might have been 80 by then. And he was he passed away, and she was trying to keep it going by herself, but she just got where she couldn't do it. So she quit business about the year after I bought my first worms from her. I went down there and visited her. She's a nice lady. I like her. So yeah, man, I hope everybody's well down in Oz too. Okay, thanks, Greg, says Lanny. Well, what do you think of me for? Hal Denton said, hey, Green Greg, it's a cold winter wonderland up here in Richmond, Virginia, I bet. So is all the rest of the counties about to secede from Richmond? We had a lot of sanctuary counties in Virginia. Oh, wow. Poor child grew up in Chattanooga. Okay, good. Good. I like Chattanooga. How close are you to the coast, Greg? Probably about 300 miles. It's a 6-hour drive if you drive fast and don't stop. And you go straight down. So yeah, it's about, it's a 6-hour drive. I'm not that close. Temperature up here is cooler than it is down in LA, Lower Alabama. We all call, when we say LA and Alabama, we're talking about Lower Alabama, by the way. That's our local joke. I'm outside, I can't really see properly, so excuse the nonsense type. That's all right, Amanda. It's all right, Amanda. Hey, I do well to type when I'm looking straight at it. My big old fat fingers on the little keyboard, especially the phone. I'll sit there and make a mistake, and I'll try to hit the back arrow, and instead I'll hit another letter, and then just keep them, and then I'll hit the back arrow and erase everything. So I have to, for every letter I type, I'm probably typing 5 or 6. I'm no good with text on these phones. Vicky, can I write my initials in the snow? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Echo. Maybe more than we want to know. You're in northern Alabama. That's right. That's right. I'm 8 miles south of the Tennessee line. Well, glad you're doing okay there, Audion. Yeah, I'm just 8 miles south of Tennessee. In fact, I've been to Tennessee and back to today already. In fact, I go to Tennessee more than I go to Huntsville if I'm just regular business, day-to-day stuff. M. King, evening, Greg and Swivel Heads. Yeah, I'm glad to have all my swivel heads in here tonight. So how many we got? 92. 92 swivel heads in attendance. Harold Denton. The trees were all icy. Oh yeah, it was nice. I was driving home tonight from actually when I was up in Tennessee this evening, watching the sunset, lighting up all the crystals. It looked like a crystal chandelier turned upside down, all the tops of all the trees. It was beautiful. And I didn't even take a picture of it. Shame on me, right? Vicky Savage, when you gotta go at 30 below, y'all have his snow. Well, guys, you ever heard don't eat yellow snow? In Alaska, something hot, you throw it out if it's 60 below, it don't go to snow. It goes poof into fog. So my little quip in Alaska was, don't breathe the yellow ice fog. Forget don't eat the snow. Don't breathe the yellow fog. We all live in a yellow submarine. In a yellow submarine. I drive a great big yellow bus. I drove it very much, but I will. I've been looking at property in Northeast Tennessee. Okay, Judy, that's a good place to go. It's beautiful up there. Tom, where you gotta go? Good night. Well, good night, Tom. Ring Greg, some mountain boots you have, the so-called Mickey Mouse boots? No, bunny boots was the vapor barrier boots, right? I had to put a little glue in these things today. They keep getting separated right here, and this glue looks like crap that I put in this last time. Some Elmer's glue foamed up too much because they keep getting separated here. That's my issue with these boots. But I've had these boots since April 1981, probably the second day of April, because I arrived in Alaska on the first day of April 1981. That's how long I've had these boots. So they're a good boot. I still got a lot of tread on them, considering how long I had them. I wore them all the time up in Alaska. So 2 years steady and a lot down here. If it's snow, I'd usually wear these boots. But they wasn't too comfortable on me this time. I don't know if my foots were deforming, the boots are deforming. I have trouble wearing any kind of boot, to be honest. So that's it. That's one of them. That's the one I had to glue and repair. I don't know if that glue is going to hold or not. I haven't found a glue that would hold. I've tried several different glues. Gulf Shores. So, Judy, you moved to northeast Tennessee. You'll be a little closer to me. But that's probably still about it could be a 6-hour drive. It's 2 hours to get up to Chattanooga. It's about another 2 hours probably to Knoxville. I don't know, probably not 6. No, it wouldn't be 6 hours. It takes about 7 hours to get to Washington, D.C. So it can't be 6 hours. It'd probably be 4 or 5 hour drive. It takes about 4 hours to get to Memphis from here. Dodgy snow, indeed. So I'm closer to Memphis than I am, to the Gulf. In fact, Judy, I'm probably closer to you right now than I am to the Gulf. Got 10.99 acres in Scott County in Tennessee, looking to sell Mountain View property. Okay, there you go. There you go, people. If you want to buy a Mountain View property, 10.99 acres, just go ahead and check that out. Megan and James Gross. So, Judy, I might set you up there. Check it out. Yeah, those boots out there, they're pre-Gore-Tex. Now I got a Gore-Tex pair upstairs, but they kind of warped on me. In fact, I got 2 Gore-Tex pair of boots. One of them I bought as hiking boots. I don't ever wear them anymore. Had the sole fall off in the snow. Been wearing Birkenstocks. Okay, wool socks. Well, hey, Cody Lundeen, he went around everywhere barefooted, but he would wear socks in the snow. I reckon, guess the year I was born. Granny, the year you was born. How about 1960? How about that? Judy Dow, I want a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, stone or brick house with a wood stove and 10 acres. No restrictions. There you go. No restrictions, of course. Always la, la, la. All right, what else? Peter McAuliffe. Try barefoot boots. Barefoot boots. Well, hope they sell them around here. I don't want to wear footwear if I can't wear it, because I have such a trouble finding footwear that fits me, guys. Lord child, I wanted to run down there and help you the other night, Greg. Oh, thank you. Daggum good man deserve better help. Well, thank you, Lord child. Well, you can get down here in a couple hours. Maybe I'll just come down and see me sometime. We might get a bite to eat somewhere. Although I'd probably do takeout. I haven't been in the restaurant but one time since all this bug stuff. And that was from my granddaughter's birthday party. And she had just turned 19. And they had it, but they had it in a Japanese place where they have all these walls that close off. So we were still, just isolated amongst ourselves, friends and family. So it wasn't too bad. Lord child, yeah, you're only 2 hours away. Chattanooga's not that far. But I would have been done before you could have got down here when I was fighting that snow, probably. Yeah. I had to get out there and get at it. I had no choice. I had to do it then. Yeah, I barely got saved. I probably should have kept saying that in my last life, just say, I gotta go. But then, hey, I drug it out myself a little bit, didn't I? Somebody's got the wild notion to take y'all to Mars that night. Probably should have waited maybe tonight to have done that. I'm considered lower East Tennessee. Oh, you'd considered it. Well, I've got some friends in that area. It's a whole lot closer to me. But you're going to be right close to a bunch of those plants that'll make you glow in the dark if you're not careful. Of course, that's where, I've got some of my people that came to some of my tribe meetings. I got a homestead over that way. That's there where Lord Child 23 is at. She's in Chattanooga. It's pretty country. It's really pretty country in that area. Or if you go down North Georgia, Northeast Alabama, it's all Appalachian. It's it's not the Blue Ridge Mountains, but it's still Appalachia. It's in Daphne, Alabama. That's the east side of Mobile Bay. What's over there, Brandy? Northeast Tennessee is Tri-Cities area. Yep, Bristol, Johnson, Kingsport, Greensville, and Morristown. Yeah, it's 5 cities, not Tri-Cities. They do call it Tri-Cities. I drove through them many a times driving. I used to go to Washington, D.C. all the time, guys. I drive a lot of it. From 1989 I believe, yeah, from 89 or 1990, maybe 1990. Yeah, from 1990 to 2010. For 20 years. No, it was 1989. 1989. I started going to, is that right? No, 1990. 1990, I started going to Washington, D.C. And sometimes that area, I'd spend a whole month up there on occasion. And I went up there at least once a year, every year for 20 years. And I've not been back since 2010. Yeah, I used to go up there a lot because, one, I had a job that sent me up there. And two, I was an officer in the National Space Society. Plus, I was head of the policy committee. So we would have people running the halls of Congress. And so I'd be up there a lot. But I haven't been there in 11 years now. My dad used to go there a lot because my dad was president of a union. And so he used to go up that way a lot. He hated it though. They wanted to take him up there for one of those big veterans things when they opened up that World War II monument there on the National Mall, near which goes around the reflecting pool. And they were giving a lot of people free trips up there, and he turned them down. It's kind of surprised me. I thought he'd want to see the monument. I've been there, I've seen it, but he didn't want to go to that. Anyway, Aussie girl, how? Love from Australia. Hey, we got at least 2 Aussie girls here. We got Amanda B and Aussie girl. So let's see here. Mountain City or bus, says Judy. Okay. Or Child says, my hubby asked me the other night, who's the wizard you're watching? There you go. You got it right. There we go. With my magic wand. My pistolier magic wand. Yeah, we got 2 Aussie girls in here tonight. That's right, Brandy. All right, Harold Denton. I grew up 3 miles from the state line and 9 miles from Gate City. Okay, cool. Cool. He wasn't, somebody here earlier was saying, hey, they wanted to have coffee with me or something. I was figuring whoever that was close by, but who was that? I didn't see a reply to that. Dave boy, good evening, Davey boy. Well, thank you there, Lord Child. Wizard Greg, that's funny. There we go. From Kentucky. All right. From KY. Excuse me, guys. Had a nagging cough for 2 or 3 years here. Try to get it all checked out and I can't find anything. So I don't know what it is. Where's your property, Vicky? Says Richard Bell. She's got a place up in Arkansas. Let's see. I've lived in Alaska, I've lived in Alabama, I'm getting a place in Arizona. So I guess maybe the only state left with an A that I hadn't lived in would be Arkansas. Been through there. Was it now 89 or 90? It was 90. I had to think about it a little bit. It's been a while back. It's been a while back. Yeah, my first trip to DC area was in 1990. I was working for Grumman on the space station integration contract, and we'd meet up in Reston. But we'd take a few jaunts into DC. I used to know DC fairly well. Yeah, been all through that area quite a few times. In fact, I've got a novel that I want to write one day, and a lot of it's based in that area because it was going to involve the CIA. So, and my protagonist, my good guy, he was going to live in Cabin John off MacArthur Avenue. Let's see, what was his address going to be? I had his address picked out. Yeah, he was going to spend some time down there on the canal and next to Potomac. Was it the C&O Canal? I have to go back and figure it out. O&H, I forget the name of that canal now. With all the locks there. I've jogged there. I've got it written down somewhere where I started writing that novel back before the year 2000. I'll get back around to it. That novel put me down a rabbit hole. That's what got me investigating weird stuff going on in the world. And I found out it was weirder than I imagined. Harold Denton, you can have northern VA and DC area too much congestion traffic-wise. You got that right. No, I'd never want to live there. I used to stay with a buddy up in Cabin John when I went up there quite often. And the cool thing was, if you wanted to get into DC, it was a lot easier coming down MacArthur and going down Massachusetts Avenue to get into DC than it was coming from the outside, going across those bridges over the Potomac. I looked at traffic there and it'd be backed up, nobody'd be moving. I could zip in and out fairly easy from inside Maryland up there in Cabin John. So that was strategically, that was a good place. I stayed there and they got everything so crowded, I just didn't have anywhere to stay there. And last few trips I didn't stay there, but that was a place I stayed quite a bit. That's why I jogged on that canal close to there and fairly well knew the area once upon a time. Aussie Girl says, hey, Greg, what do you think about disclosure is going to look like? Well, that's an opening question. What's disclosure going to look like? Wow, there's stuff trickling out right now. My opinion is that what we're witnessing is demons, or what equivalent of what we call demons, to be honest. I think we built some of these devices. Greg, you're rocking out of that chair. Hey, this is our fireside chat, more or less, right? All the messing's a fire, but we got a blue light shining through a crystal ball. That's our space Rocket Santa's version of fire, right? See Rocket Santa? That's what I got from the Blue Bottle Bunny Farm. And it is actually a blue light in here, shining through the blue bottle, coming through the crystal ball. About that. What do I see looking into the future? The world's going to turn upside down. We must be going to have a pole flip. Everything's upside down. Yikes. Whole future turned upside down. How about that? Gotta have a little fun, guys. Gotta have a little fun. Can't take things too serious all the time. Yeah, I cover a lot of serious topics, no doubt about it. Let's see, that's the year the refinery froze up. 24 December. Nice. 35 wind chill. Yow. Adventure above Fredericksburg. Yeah, well, I had work that took me into the DC area, guys. And plus I was running to Congress, lobbying for space stuff. Got quite a bit done in that department, my friends, quite a bit. Got quite an experience base dealing with the Congress critters. For what was good or worse. And I got a magazine here somewhere. Goes back to that. I was hunting this other day and I couldn't find it. Yikes. It does rock, says Jeff Allen. Well, thank you, sir. All right. Here's a magazine. Ad Astra, to the stars. And this is an article I wrote way back when. Now, I wrote this article in 2010. No, I wrote this article. The version of this magazine is winter 2010. I wrote a little bit earlier. This is the last year I was an officer in the National Space Society. Now, my penchant for using alliteration. Ring Gregs, Galactic Gregs, Woden's Wondrous World Wednesdays or Woken World Wednesdays. That's the old Anglo-Saxon Nordic way of rhyming, is to alliterate. And I've long been writing alliteratively. Allison always alliterates. Concerning constellations, cancellation, Congress, and camels. And this article does talk about consolation, cancellation, Congress, and yes, camels too. The old adage, if a camel ever gets his nose in the tent, the rest is sure to follow. And this was an article about the cancellation of a program I worked on. But it was more about how I took an idea to Senator Bill Nelson, although I don't take credit for it directly in here, but I had a concept for Senator Bill Nelson how to have a compromise that would preserve both commercial space and a heavy lift booster program. And because he was in quandary over that, and I took that to his head space staffer, who was Colonel Paul Damphus. That's his name, Damphus. And if you saw his way it's spelled, you'd think it was damp house, but I pronounced it Damphus. I guess that's the French version. But he grabbed that letter from me. He just looked at it, he just held it. I like this more. Senator Nelson will like this. I'm going to take this straight to Senator Nelson. Senator Nelson adopted that and announced it the very next day. I've also had Senator Vetter quote from me when he was grilling a NASA official. Senator Vetter, I used to go in his office too, because he was against the law of the sea treaty, and that was one of the things I pushed against. That was not one of our success stories, but we had many success stories. The L5 Society, predecessor to the National Space Society, is famous for fighting the Moon Treaty, and we won on that occasion. So I've got a fair bit of experience with property rights in space, and I've had Buzz Aldrin quote me in an article. Buzz Aldrin, yeah, second man walked on the moon, quoted me in an article on property rights in space. I was a long time member of the L5 Society, which predated the National Space Society. I was also a member of the other parent organization, the National Space Society, which was the National Space Institute. I've also been in the Space Studies Institute and an advocate in the Space Frontier Foundation. There's our L5 Society pin. That's got to be worth something one day. One of these days. Oh, I'm missing something. Oh, wait, maybe that's it. Now, this is probably my most cherished pin I got, though. This pin was only given to people who were members of original X-Prize, X-Prize team members. You got to be a member of an X-Prize team to get this pin. And here's one of my NASA medals. This is another little X-Prize pin, but this one is not exclusive like the one I just showed you. Hang on. Get it out here. I got an X-Prize t-shirt. I've been involved in a couple of different X-Prize activities. In fact, that's how I wound up going to Russia. Moscow, Russia, back in 1910. March 1910, I was in Moscow. Musculating. Up the moon, yikes. Anyway, I actually enjoyed my trip to Moscow. More NASA talk. I'm sure you want NASA talk, Eric. Maybe I feel like it's the wrong channel to be talking NASA stuff. This is supposed to be my gardening channel. Gardening and prepping. Ruth King, hello, Greg. Carolina Sun Farms, do you believe there's life on other planets? Well, I believe there could be, but it might just be microbial. You know, it takes a lot to have multicellular life. And if you take it up to the point of being sentient, have intelligence like we do, that's takes a lot of things going right. It's a very complex thing to have. Hey, Greg, can you explain the rocket equation? Now I'll have to draw it out for you one night. Say, hey, Greg, would you take a job opportunity to live in Mobile, Alabama, or is it too dangerous in your opinion? Oh, you got an opportunity to live in Mobile? Mobile is the second largest city in Alabama, but I think it's going downhill. It's not the best town in Alabama, neither is Birmingham. You know, if it's, you know, primary day-to-day dangers are there just rains a lot. You get thunderstorms all the time. You're more susceptible to hurricanes. What I would worry about in the long term would be a tsunami anywhere below 500 feet. You do have mountain volcanoes in the Caribbean that could go off in such a way to cause a tsunami to come up the Gulf of Mexico. You could have an asteroid hit maybe in the Gulf, or even in the Atlantic close enough it could whip around with a tsunami going up into the Gulf. And we know that it's now believed to be a comet that hit Chicxulub in the Yucatan Peninsula. That probably created a tsunami. It would have taken out just about everything in the United States except stuff in the Western Rockies. Back then, the Rockies were low. They didn't have the Rockies. It was all pretty low. Like there was a sea. So the Appalachians might have survived. They were higher back then. So maybe northern Appalachians, because that tsunami is thought it was something on the order of 1,500 feet high. So, there are a few hills here in northeast Alabama that reach 1,700 feet. So you might have been good on top of the mountain behind the house I lived in when I lived in Paint Rock Valley, because this one was 1,700 footers. Mount Cheaha in Alabama is 2,400 foot high. It's our highest point in the state. That's in the Talladega National Park. But that was a very severe tsunami. Of course, it would fall off in distance, because you had inverse square laws. You could go readily out from an event like that. But that's, very, very rare event. So the biggest thing I might worry about, Mobile, would be if we got into a war with Russia and if they set off one of their SAR bombers in the Gulf of Mexico. I would think the primary targets for SAR bombers would probably be east and west coast. This is a bomb. This the SAR bomber torpedo. It's called Poseidon. It's I believe 6 or 8 foot in diameter. I have to go back and double check that. It's a huge torpedo. It's the size of and it's nuclear powered, and it can run indefinitely. So it's really the size of mini unmanned submarines. What it really is. The word torpedo is a misnomer of a name. It's this weapon could carry a 100 megaton device, the bomb called the SAR bomber. The biggest device ever set off on Earth, the biggest nuclear device, was a half SAR bomber, and it was intense. It was insane. That bomb was. Bomb died. They're talking major. One of these off the coast could take out an entire coastline, maybe. That's what some people project. They're projecting tsunamis, at least near where it goes off. It could be 1,500 feet high. I mean, this thing could sweep miles and miles and miles inland. So it would take out all your coastal cities and infrastructure. They could wipe out east and west coast of 2 of these devices, and they're building about 24 of them, I think, ultimately. They're about to have 12 fielded probably at the end of this year. So we don't want to get into it with Russia. There's just not a lot that's really worth that to get into it with Russia. Russia is not a long-term strategic threat to the United States. They can't come over and take everything over. They don't have the manpower. Russia is a nation on decline, population-wise, their economy. They will never match us economically, and their population's on decline. So Russia is a country whose biggest long-term concern should be getting taken over by China. I mean, we may be a near-term concern because we might thwart their ambitions in the Baltics, for example. We get into them over Crimea, which is primarily, the people in Crimea are all Russian anyway, so we should let that go. We should quit fighting over Crimea. Just cut a deal. If you leave the Baltics alone, we'll accept your Crimean position, and if you will make an alliance with us to keep China in check, which they would ultimately like to do that. Our best deal with Russia would be to make peace with them. Make peace with them for the purpose of containing China, so they don't feel so giddy to be so adventuristic as they are today. My real hope with all these nations is that we can get people that within all these countries to develop high degrees of independence to the point they don't need the governments that overlord them. If you can figure out a way to do that, and that's one of the things I hope to promote with my universal habitat. If you find ways to do that, then you're not giving power to the government. And that can happen anywhere in the world. So if we can take away the power of these governments, we could take a lot of the stuff out of, a lot of the things out of the things that cause this war. This is the most important thing in the world you can vote with. It's your dollar. This is true around the world. Beware of China. Amen. where, how far inland is OK, Arizona? It's pretty darn far inland. Where I'm at is 5,000 foot above sea level in Arizona. And it got a few mountain ranges to go through, like 3 mountain ranges to get from Phoenix to where I'm at. So this, you can vote with this, and every time you vote with it, you know that vote's counted. Every vote with this thing here gets counted. So don't vote for the corporations that stand against your liberties and freedom. Don't vote for those corporations that try to step you under. And that's most of the big corporations these days. Vote, spend your dollar as much as you can to help your local people, your local mom and pop shops, your local artisans, your local farmers where you live. Help them out as much as you can. If you're buying stuff from across the country, look for artisans and other people that are similar, and try to trade as much as you can locally with people that are local. And I hope we get our tribe organization going strong enough that we'll have our own trading network amongst ourselves. That's part of the objective of it, so that we can have our own economy. May come to the point that, you know, they won't let you do a lot of things in the bigger economy if you don't accept certain things. And some of us might not find that too desirable. So this may be a reprieve from such oppression. I don't like to stop for gas in Mobile. All right, you got from Brandy there. Yeah, Mobile is kind of going downhill. Mobile heading downhill. So yeah, Mobile's kind of a rough town. Instead of a convenient scapegoat for everything political. Yeah, hey, vote with your dollar, my friends. Vote with your dollar. Fishes, pray him indeed. Yeah, pray the Lord above, not the people below. I love to drive up 35 to Arkansas. There you go, for us. Spend local. Don't watch TV. There you go, Lord child. Yeah, don't spend your time on TV. Hey, there's a lot of nice local mom and pop shops in Chattanooga. A lot of nice restaurants. Chattanooga is kind of a nice little touristy town. So everybody, you get a chance to go there and visit. By all means, go to Chattanooga. It's a nice little town. It's pretty around there. They got a lot of, you can go see Ruby Falls. Up Lookout Mountain, the Incline Railroad. They got a lot of gift shops in town, restaurants, and it's a lot of the town commemorates that battle above the clouds. There's a park on top of Lookout Mountain for that purpose. And of course, there was also a battle across the Tennessee River on the other side of Missionary Ridge. And for some reason, I have visions and memories of caissons rolling up that valley. Strange. Can't watch mainstream media. Nah, don't do that. Not worth it. All lies. All lies. All lies. So, Lord Chow, what do you do up in Chattanooga? You got what's the good professions for people up there? Can USAY hibernate? Says, I speak with a woman in Russia. Her friends were there, all in the military. They told me if we went to war, they wouldn't fight. Well, a lot of them wouldn't. I got to tell you what, guys. I enjoyed going to Russia. I felt more at home in Russia than I did our ally, Italy. I think it's more because the Russians are, probably were, more closely blood related. They're more Nordic, they're Slavic, but they're Vikings went down into Moscow. Venner Lee Wilbarger's in the house. I want to put you on my Newsnet. Okay, Venner. Lee, talk to me. Want to put me on your Newsnet. Now, what is that? Your new system with your ham radio, or are you talking about a show? I'll be happy to come on your channel and go on a show, Lee. Just tell me when. Fishes and Los. That Greg is there a cult history in Area 51? A cult history? I don't know about Area 51, but there sure is around what's that ranch that belongs to Bigelow there? Bob Bigelow bought that ranch, Skinwalker Ranch. I know somebody told me they spent a night up there, and they told me that it was a weird experience. Not to pester, just so you know more the inside of NASA. Now, Area 51 is not part of NASA. Area 51 is not part of NASA. Now, I don't know if any NASA people are connected in there, but none from where I'm at. I had nothing to say. I have nothing to do with the boob tube since Dad died in '94, said Vicky. Yeah, that tube ain't worth watching. I don't watch it. I don't even know what's on anymore. Cheaper cob squatch. So you crossed a cheaper cobber with a Sasquatch here, Jeff Allen. It might be a funky creature. A goat sucking Bigfoot. That's really what cheaper cogger means. It means goat sucker. So shoot me an email, Lee, if you're still in the house. Or I think you still got my email. If not, just tell me. Rocket Man, go for it. Yeah, Lee. I've had Lee on my channel a couple times, so I'd be happy to show up on his channel. Fishing's and loves. Yeah, he's putting together a comm system. I do need to be part of that, especially since I'm going to be going back and forth. I hope they don't shut down travel between states. That would be a bummer for me, being that I'll have a farm in Arizona and one in Alabama. I need to be able to get back and forth. I would just travel back roads all the way. I might have to leave my bus and look like it might be hard to hide a bus. So what would I go on? Maybe a motorized bicycle. Jeff Allen, smiling. That's what I need. I'll just get me a bicycle. I'll paint it camo and put one of those electric motors on it, and that's how I'll go between the states. I'll drive it at night on the back roads, and every time I see a car, I'll just pull off the road, hide in the ditch. I'm thinking about doing a bug out bicycle video, guys. I really am. They got some cute little electric packs going on now. If you noticed, when you went out in my greenhouse, you saw there was, I got 3 or 4 bicycles in there. I got a bicycle on my back porch. I got one in my garage. So I got a bunch of bicycles. I consider a bicycle a good bug out device because you don't need power to run them except your own power. Now, like everything else, it's mechanical. It's got parts and spare parts, and they will wear out. But I got bicycles. I got another bicycle out in the woods under a tarp. So you can piece part stuff for a while. Rubber will eventually wear out, so that might be a big issue. But hey, you might be able to cut some old car tires and have some wheels that just give you a rough ride. And so Vicky hit it right there. All that's necessary for evil to see is for good people to do nothing. So that's why we got to do things, guys, right there. That's why I formed the Freedom Restoration Foundation. Because, it boils down to this. In our society today, we keep these days saying, well, they'll take care of this. They'll take care of that. They'll do this. They'll do that. There is no they. There ain't nobody else. It's us. They is us. We is they. We have to do it ourselves. There ain't nobody else doing it for us, guys. That's why I get involved with things. That's why I've been pushing things like space policy from way back. Drops Family Garden says, you're up late tonight, Greg. Guys, I don't go to bed for several more hours. Then I get up after I go to bed. Sometimes I meet myself getting up as I go to bed. I say hi to myself. It's my radio and phone-based net radio. Okay. All right, Lee, we'll have to talk about that. See what I got to do. I don't have a ham license, Lee. That's no downside there. But yeah, I do need to get into that. I do need to get a ham license one day. I hadn't even got my 1099 forms out for my employees yet. I got to work on that this weekend. I'm so behind. So many things. So what's happening, Lee? What's the breaking news? Lee stays on top of breaking news all the time. We'll do a show together too. That sounds good. What's the latest, Lee? What's happened today? What have I missed? I've been running around. All right, Judy. Good night. Greg, did you check out the underground house? Greg, did you check out the which underground house? I've been checking out underground houses for some time. Which underground house? You know, you can be selling worms this year. Yeah, Colorado, Florida. Colorado, Florida. Is that what it is? Colorado FL. Is it Colorado, Florida girl? Yeah. Russia moving in Ukraine. Ooh. Oh, you know, just sitting there talking about we ought to make peace with Russia. That's going to make it hard. You know what? See, his boy got all involved in Ukraine. And, you know, and Biden is really not happy with Russia. And so that may just prompt that. Yikes. Hello, Mr. Yeah, that's something big there. China arming Coast Guard. Yeah, I know China's arming the Coast Guard. Yeah, they're putting some big cannons on those boats, and they passed a law and gave them not only authority, they gave them direction to fire on boats and structures on islands that they claim that's also claimed by others all over the area out there. That is a very extremely aggressive posture, extremely aggressive law to pass, and it's aggressive against. Yeah, Israel attacking in Syria. Okay, that's not news. That's every day, Lee. Almost. Yeah, they're actually, though, Israel is hitting Iranian targets in Syria. Now, I've said for some time, probably this whole thing in Syria has been nothing more than Iran's trying to soften up the flank on its northern end before they make a strike out to Israel. They would not, Israel would not want to strike Iran if they knew they had a soft shoulder, a soft flank to the north. So they definitely would want to soften that up before they'd reach out and strike the other place. Missiles on their bow. Oh, they're putting missiles on the Coast Guard ships? Yeah, I go back and check. I'm behind on checking some articles. Oh my gosh, Lee. Yeah, this is getting serious. China is getting hyper aggressive. And if Russia's moving into, oh my God, you know, Russia might know China's up to something. What would give Russia the boldness to want to go ahead and move into Ukraine? Now, in the Ukraine, you know, you got Eastern and Western Ukraine. The people in Western Ukraine are more of your older Ukrainians. You got a lot of Russians in Eastern Ukraine. Eastern Ukraine is probably mostly Russian. I would say that it would, you know, you should let everybody determine who they want to be and live whatever country they want to live in. So I would say if Eastern Ukraine wants to go, let them succeed. Let that country split. There's nothing wrong with that. But you know, why have a war over all this? These people here that want to go, let them go. If they want to go with Russia, so be it. So what we got, actually, see, the Ukrainians had voted for a pro-Russian president. And RCA funded a orange revolution that overturned that president, put our guy in charge. But that guy, and this is under Obama, but that group, the party that took over the Ukraine, were actually neo-Nazis. So I thought it was really odd that a black U.S. president supported a neo-Nazi organization in Europe. That's what happened. Wasn't that strange? They're all working together. Russia, China, Iran. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about there, Lee. If China's got some aggressive plan, is, you know, it'd be, you know, Russia goes, oh, I'll take advantage of that now. Since China's, you know, on the verge of doing something, maybe I can get away with moving and taking what I want. So here's what's dangerous. You know, I've talked about Thucydides' trap before. Only 10% want to be with Russia. Remember, Russia and Germany worked together until it was their advantage, and Russia turned on Germany, so Russia turned on China. Well, actually, Germany attacked Russia in World War II. It wasn't to their advantage because attacking Russia is a logistical nightmare with a land army. The Germans reinvented and relearned the lessons I won't say lessons learned, but lessons that should have been learned by Napoleon's forces, right? So here's what you to think about here. It's Thucydides' trap. Thucydides was the ancient Greek historian. He was the first so-called scientific historian, the one who was really analytical in his writings. And so a lot of people consider him the first historian. And he wrote about the Peloponnesian Wars. And the Peloponnesian Wars were the wars where Sparta had been the predominant power in ancient Greece, and the Athenians were rising in power. The Athenians were the democratic government, whereas Sparta was a militaristic government. But the Athens was rising in power and threatened to supplant Sparta. So they had wars over this. It lasted for some time. In that case, Sparta won. So that kind of extinguished the earlier democracies to a large degree. China won that. Hi, Solzad Jules. I said China. Sparta won it. Wow. But Thucydides, did a lot of analysis in this writing about how the kind of tensions you had, where you had an entrenched power being threatened by a rise in power. And this was brought out by Dr. Graham Allison from Harvard University. He's a political think tank guy who's written about these kind of things for decades. And he, no direct relation, he might be distant related to me. He tends to be a little bit on the globalist flavor of things, which I'm not there. But he's good in this analysis of this, and he pointed out in the last 500 years, this has occurred 16 times, and 12 of the 16 times, 75% of the time, that resulted in war. We had tensions of a rise in power against an entrenched power. So there's 4 special cases that didn't happen. One was Portugal versus Spain, where the Pope basically divided the world. Says, you guys take this side, and you guys take that side. And they said, okay. So the Pope adjudicated one of those cases. A couple of these cases had to do with the U.S. and Great Britain. In the end, we wound up saving Great Britain's and the various WW, what's, ones and twos. So that didn't come to pass. And another one of those cases had to do with Germany and France within the European Union. Once they were both already in the European Union, so that wasn't likely to lead to that kind of case. The other case that didn't lead to a war was U.S. versus the Soviet Union in a Cold War. Some people refer to the Cold War as a war, or some people got shot, of course, but we never had a full-blown war during that stint. Now, that said, I would submit that Russia never could have supplanted the United States anyway. They never had the economy that was able to do it. They could have had a war with us, and we came really close to it several times. Be unbelievably close to a full-scale, just by accident, full-scale nuclear war. And a couple of times, if certain people had followed commands, and twice there was commands to attack us with nuclear weapons in the course of the Cuban Missile Crisis. But there were so many mistakes and miscalculations. There's so many things. We had so many close calls with the Soviet Union. It's not funny. And one with Russia after the Soviet Union broke up. We've had multiple close calls. We've been so close to it happening. It wasn't funny, but it didn't. Thankfully. Now, Russia's developed some really frightening weapons with the Sarmat missile that they can actually fly over the South Pole. We won't even see it coming. That can carry enough warheads they claim to be able to wipe out an area the size of Texas, an area the size of France, and another video show attack in Florida. So maybe you don't want to live in Texas or Florida or France. But yeah, this is not a pretty situation. Now they got the hypervelocity missiles. One of the things that's kept us from going to war is we've had time in the past to determine what we thought was the coming attack was a real attack or not. When everybody's got hypervelocity things, you get more and more on the higher trigger. And now there's more and more players involved. So we're living in an infinitely more dangerous time. Now, and we've put Russia in the corner by pushing them back. And so they feel like we're an enemy. We could have been friends with them. We absolutely could have taken this to the other side, especially when Boris Yeltsin was president of Russia. But instead, our banksters went over and picked the bones of the country clean. And that's what led to nationalists like Vladimir Putin taking power, is that he was trying to protect his own people against our vultures that were snapping everything up. And so, we were never really good to them. We picked their bones. And now we're picking at it. We're trying to pick a fight with them again. But now, if they're going to Ukraine, that could lead to war. It could fully lead to a war. See, the problem is they go into Ukraine, they may go for the whole thing, or they'll just try to grab that territory that's primarily Russian. If they go into the territory, those provinces and what they call their counties or provinces, states, and Ukraine. I know the word. Sounds like Oster. What do they call those provinces in Ukraine? I know. I can't think of the top of my head right now. But they have a name for them. And there's several that the people in them are more Russian than not. They're primarily Russian ones in the eastern part of the country. Let them go to Russia. Just diffuse a split Ukraine. I'd say let the Russians keep Crimea, but the people in the Baltics do not want to be under Russian rule. I've seen some analysis that claim that we could not defend the Baltics. So I don't know, we can make a drug deal with the Russians. All right, you can keep Crimea, maybe eastern Ukraine, but leave the Baltics alone and work with us against China. But apparently things are going down fast. If they're moving like that, that's to be concerned. If we got these kind of moves going on right now, yeah, Biden won't do anything, says Lee. Yeah, you're right. Biden is lucky to put his hat on in the morning, I think. Very eastern. Yeah, you're right. It's the very eastern provinces there. What do they call them? What's the word for it, guys? Somebody here ought to know that. We got 97 people. Somebody will know what to call the provinces in Ukraine. They're little states, counties, whatever you want to call them. Ukraine's not a big country. So Western Ukraine sided mostly with Germany in World War II. Yeah. And like I said, see, it's odd, though, that the party that took it over. Oh, blast. That's it. I knew it started with O. Thank you, Sozai Jules. Oh, blasty. Exactly. That's it. That is it. See, the word Oster was coming into my mind. You know how you try to think of a word and another word pops in that little register in your brain and it kind of occupies a space and you know it's not right, but you can't think of the right word because this one word's that's where I was at. I knew what Oster, so but it does start with O. Oblasti. Thank you. That's it. Bingo. I knew I'd know it when I saw it. So, Joel, you are a jewel. Ukraine is the breadbasket of Europe. It is. That's why the Germans wanted it. That's why Russia wanted it. If you go to there's a park in Moscow that has has a pavilion or a building for every country that was part of the Soviet Union. And there's the one at Ukraine's at the very end. And Ukrainians and Russians were pretty close, to be honest. I used to know a Ukrainian who served in the Russian military. Russia agreed with Germany in World War II to delay Germany from invading. Yeah, that was probably it, says Lee. And I wonder where Obama's room is at the White House. Damn, no, you think he's still got a room there? He might. Maybe he teleconferences in. Joe, maybe he's got a wire going into Joe's ear. Joe. Say this, Joe. Say that, Joe. Yeah, I heard that when Biden walked past the military on the entry of a building, he muttered, "Salute salute the troops" or something. Just said that he had a wire and somebody was telling him to salute, and he just repeated what he heard. That's what some people claim. I don't know. All right, Jeff Allen. I'm a percentage Ukrainian myself. Okay, Jeff, tell us, what do you think about it? You got some bloodlines. I've got friends that are from there. Definitely. I got friends that are from Ukraine. But the ones I've got hate the Russians. So, and I've got friends from Estonia and Lithuania, and they have no love for the Russians at all, especially one of my Estonian friends. I got a bunch of money from one of my rocket projects from Estonia. So, and I got another Estonian who wants me to go with him in a machine shop he's got, and he wanted to build greenhouses, and he wanted to work out a deal where he'd build the greenhouses and set my business up, but then he wanted me to buy them out entirely for like $5 million or something. And then I'm thinking, yeah, this guy's like in his 90s already. And he built a huge new machine shop. I'm thinking, nah, I don't think I want to do that. I really don't think I want to go for that. But I was tempted. I was definitely tempted. I've spent some time over there. Brandy, hey, P7. So who's P7? Sleep tubing. Yeah, it'd be good. Oh, Pyramid 7. That's right. P7. Pyramid 7. How you doing, Pyramid 7? Ukraine is incredibly beautiful. I left part of my heart there. Oh, yeah, it's a beautiful country. And there are a lot of beautiful people from there. There really are. We hope not to see that place torn by even more war, to be honest. wow, I gotta have checked the news today. So I usually am checking it like 2 or 3 times a day. I've got several sources I go to. That's guys, for a lot of the stuff I do, I go every day. I spend a good bit of time just scanning through lots of news sources to find out what the heck's going on in the world. And then I try to pull that together, make sense out of it, and then I bring it back to you as a story. So it takes a lot of time to filter these sources. It takes a lot of time to congeal that into what I'm going to say, then to say it in a video, and then I have to make up the text I put in the video materials, and I have to make up a thumbnail picture. It's got to upload, and you have to go through and answer a bunch of questions. It takes a lot of time to do these videos. This is not trivial, guys. Ukrainian women are beautiful. They are. All Eastern Europe's full of beautiful people. Full of beautiful people. And I got some of the prettiest women in the world, I remember the Gabor family from Hungary and Hungarians. And you had Moscow's got some beautiful women. I spent some time in Moscow. And I'll be honest, I like the Russian people. I do. I hope we don't get into it with them. I like Chinese people. I've dated a few Chinese girls. So, from China. All mine is inside today. Okay. So, Lee. Yeah. So we're at risk, guys. We're at real risk of war, and war means grid down. And if Texas is any indication to you, we're not ready. That's what I've been telling you guys forever. That's why I was about to do a video tonight. I wasn't planning to do one on the magnetic field. It's dropping. Guys, we're in a perfect storm here. So many things. But, I've done these power grid defense conferences. I'm involved in 2 separate power grid defense committees at the national level. And I'm also, I'm president of the Freedom Restoration Foundation. So I got to be insane to be involved in so many different things. I'm trying to run my worm farm, market garden, open a place in Arizona, and I got a day job, a very intense day job. Actually just released for review the Rev A to a system safety analysis report for the avionics lab that tests all the avionics for the space launch system. And so, I'm a busy puppy, guys. I don't sleep much. EMP rather. We may get an EMP. Let me see. Check some of the notes up here. I've been missing some of them. I've been running my mouth as Lee got me started here. I'm glad Lee's in the house tonight. Thank you, Lee. Keep talking to us, Lee. Tell us some more about what you're saying. Now I got to catch up on the news. Wow, this week's been shaking. And I've been quaking. I've been spending a lot of time on my stuff on work now. I know I got to spend a lot of time doing these, catching up on doing the 1099s, which means I got to go back through all my bank stuff. It takes me a lot of prep time for that. Grandfather and mom's side was directly from Kyiv. Okay, Jeff, directly from Kyiv. Probably not happy with the Russians. Yeah. The people who, if you're not Russian, you're not happy with Russians. Everybody help Greg battle the Al Gore has no real. Thank you, Vicky. All right. Yeah. Please give me some thumbs up. Appreciate it. Somebody give me a thumb down. Oh my gosh. So, all right, guys, for somebody that don't like me, tell me what you don't like. If you don't like the style, we're just in here chatting. There are guys who just, they pick a topic before they do a video, and then they just ran on that topic for a while. I could do that, and I have done that on occasion. I got plenty of topics to cover, but I've chose to have a little bit more of a social hour of my swivel heads here, because, like I said, we are a community, we're a family, and there's so much stuff going on in the world right now. Sometimes we just need to be able to chat, and I feel pretty strong about that. I get a renewal sense, chatting with you guys. You guys lift my spirits, but we also help each other stay aware. And that's what this channel is for, so we can keep our eyes wide open and head on a swivel. And Lee Wilbarter has brought us some stuff to get our eyes open, put our head on a swivel, and like crazy here tonight. I appreciate that. That's what we're all here for. That's when we got to collaborate between our channels. Hi, Greg. How you doing, sir? Greg Chin. So, Permian said, well, Greg, thank you for your voice and for all your hard work. Well, thank you, Pyramid 7. And I appreciate everybody that's in here tonight. We got a lot of good people that are helping us out and coming here our chat sessions, being part of our community. And our community does branch. We got a brotherhood and sisterhood of channels here that we share a lot of our people in a lot of these chat rooms with. And sometimes we're on each other's channels. Rex and Lyman have done a lot to help me build my channel early on. So I give a lot of credit to them for that. And, we stick together. I mean, we got other brother and sister channels in that. And I just emailed Christian Rest Book, and I hadn't heard back from him just yet. So, he was interested in us doing a joint interview. How that, Susan, the federal government just invested many millions of dollars upgrading Gitmo. Isn't that funny? How they were going to shut it down. They dropped the thumbs down, blurry vision. Oh, you think they missed the button? They was going to hit a thumbs up and hit a thumbs down. Maybe it was that. Maybe that's an accidental thumbs down. Hey guys, if somebody's in here and are not happy, if you're not happy, tell me why. What else you don't like? Lee, in Ukraine, I'm an honorary member of, is that the Congress? What is the Dnipro 1? Dnipro 1. That sounds like a unit. Your Ukraine friend will know what that means. Okay. All right. So thank you for sharing your information. I love chat sessions, says Granny. Yeah, the people coming here do. If we have a troll, could we set the Billy Goat Scruff on it? Well, I think you guys are pretty good with that. North Alabama hiking. There we go. Hello, Greg. This Texas situation has taught me even more about prepping, giving me more ideas about what to do. God bless you, Greg. There you go, North Alabama hiking. Absolutely. Absolutely there, neighbor. You troops in Gitmo 2. Ooh. Man, something's cooking, guys. Something is cooking. Here's what you got to worry about, guys. When the chess pieces start lining up on the board. Lee, does this look like the 1930s to you? I mean, I'm feeling 1930s in so many ways. Late 1930s. Y'all know what I mean? These chess pieces are lining up. And the alignment is concerning, to say the least. But it's multidimensional. It's like international. It's domestic in terms of political tensions domestically, military tensions internationally, economic tensions, environment with the magnetosphere field strength dropping, the poles moving, grand solar minimum, people claiming global warming, honorary guard of the country. Well, that's good, Lee. Awesome. 1984. Well, there's that. There is that. Big brother. Big brother. Hey, Greg. Getting ready for it. You're right. Guys, you got to start getting ready. Our Caribbean Navy base is Cuba. Isn't that funny? It is. Gitmo. Wolfman Jackal. I remember after Gorbachev listened to Reagan news, he made things sound so great, but from that, I come to understand it made things worse. Yeah, he came out with what was it called? Glasnost or something. What was it? We had his piece thing, Glasnost or something like that. I have to shake my memory cells a little bit. He had two principles he followed. But Gorby's a globalist. Globalist Gorby. I used to like Rush Limbaugh. He had, because the news used to go about Gorbachev all the time. He came out with his little segment on his program when he first started. God rest Rush Limbaugh's soul. But he called them Gorbasms, and it would be the tune of dun 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 dun. And he'd ham it up. I used to love that. That was one of the funny things about Rush. He would take on something that was totally politically incorrect that everybody else just fawned away from. And he just hit it. He'd hit it with gusto and music and play it up. He was funny. So he got kind of old. He wouldn't announce globalism, at least not early in early days. And originally, neither would Sean Hannity. But Sean Hannity's come around. I think he has. Sean Hannity used to be in Huntsville. He used to be on a show called WVNN. I called in him all the time back in the day. His britches are probably too big to talk to guys like us now. But guys, if you're going to do the prepping, I really encourage you. These days, right now, it's a good time to get the specials at some prepwithgreg.com. 20% off. You can get this good 25-year long storage food. And if we're going to get into it with the Ruskies or the Chinese, it would be a good time to be ready. This stuff lasts a long time. And the best thing about it is these buckets are easy to store, easy to pack. They last, they're rugged, so stuff don't get thrown too easy. And what I like is the pouches in them are easy to throw into a backpack because they're pouches. And you can tear it open and you can reseal it at the top, so you can keep your stuff longer. Unless you bust them like I did. So that's a whole lot easier to carry in your backpack than a can. And that was 4 servings. You need 2 of these to be the same. I had 2 of these, but I just ate one. So that's what you need to know. Go to prepwithgreg.com. Help me and help yourself right now. And guys, it is seed buying time, so go to True Leaf Market too. Use my links for that stuff. I don't know if I'll post any on this video, but the videos I upload almost always have those links. Live sessions, I don't always get around to it. Yeah, RIP E-Rush. Old as dirt. All nations know that only a WR will bring populace together and rescue the money problems. Too many hawks in the government. That's true. Too many hawks in government. Globalized minds are filled with delusions of grandeur. You're right, Wolfman. Delusions of grandeur. Yeah. Some of the delusions are like, you'll own nothing. You'll have no privacy and you'll be happy. Not because you're on their drugs. How's it? You take everything away from you. You're living in squalor and you're totally subservient to them for everything you want. You got no freedom, no independence, and yet you're happy with no privacy. Wow. Yeah, you must be a mind-numbed robot. Sean will still talk to you. Okay. If you can get a hold of him. If you can get a hold of him. You talk to Sean Lee? Yeah, I used to call Sean's show every day. Yeah, he was right here in Huntsville. Well, the show he ran out was Athens, which is just west of us. The station there was WVNN. Drops Family Garden says, Greg, do you like how they're trying to find multiple ways of universal income? Child tax credit, for example. We need social safety net maybe, but I think this goes too far because people just aren't going to want to work. Sooner or later, you're going to get to the point that your basic services, nobody will do them. I think our society will just start unraveling and falling apart, especially if you take away the incentive to work. That's what happens in all your collectivist countries. Those that work real hard, invest and go to school and work the rear end off, don't get no further ahead than the guy who just works a little bit every now and then. And so the incentive to excel gets taken out. And systems like that don't excel. They begin to get really mediocre and they tend to crash. I mean, look at Singapore. Singapore has a free market economy and no natural resources, and the people there are very prosperous. Venezuela, on the other hand, has all kinds of natural resources. People used to be prosperous, but they got rid of the free market economy, and now they're in starvation. They're starving in an oil-rich nation. So, but all the young kids tell us that socialism is the wave of the future. So I think they all want to go to Venezuela. How come all those caravans coming up through the Isthmus of Panama and up through Central America and into Mexico. How come they're not going toward Venezuela? It's such a beautiful place. It's actually a beautiful place. It has very beautiful people. It's also one of those countries with very, very beautiful. Somebody said Ukraine has beautiful women. So does Colombia and Venezuela. Yeah, Venezuelans used to win, Miss Universe all the time. They used to dominate that. So, for a small country, yeah, they did well. Autocorrect. Yeah, I got you on the autocorrect about Rush there. Not Susie. Okay, so we're losing somebody. I missed that. Good night. Let's see. Tanika, how you doing? What are the ingredients and nutritional value? I have 200 pounds of rice I must trade. Oh yeah, yes, too much carbs there. Now there is a lot of those meals are kind of carb centric, but not all of them. Now, Trillium Market does have different choices. Like this is the mega protein pack. You might want to go with something like that if you don't want to go too many carbs. They also have fruit and vegetable packs for the vegetarians. So they have some variety. You can also go there and get their number 10 cans, and you can get number 10 cans. There's like you can buy like a year's worth of food or different numbers of months worth of food, number 10 cans, or you can go in and just buy select which ones you want and buy those. And they have many different options there. So that is prep. Go to prepwithgreg.com and click the My Patriot Supply logo, and it takes you into all that stuff. So you got a lot of options. You can get all kind of prepping supplies there, water purification and such. Also watching my video on water purification, by the way. I think I've got the most comprehensive water purification video out there on the internet, because I talk about water purification and sanitization, and I show you how to do it with plastic 2-liter bottles. And I show you, I talk about more than one way to do that. I talk about the use of milk jugs. I talk about the use of 5-gallon pails. And I show you 3 different water filters, 2 of the portable ones and a ceramic one, and a live straw. And I go through all that stuff. And you'll even hear machine gun fire in the background. Not mine, not me. It's just what's going on in the background. A neighbor having some fun. Yeah, it was full auto, whatever they were doing. But hey, that's just the way it rolls around here, guys. We don't think about it. Huckleberry Finished says there will be a lot more creative and an entrepreneurial type. Okay, Old as Dirt. Greg's, I read the piece on Rush. Did you know that he lost his hearing at 50 years old, had surgery, helped helped some, had a helper, but he was doing his radio show as a deaf person for a long time. Oh, I didn't know that. Was he like almost totally deaf? I've got a real hearing impediment myself. Socialism is a fantastic weight loss system. Oh, okay. Hey, there's a silver cloud around. Excuse me. There is a silver lining around every mushroom cloud. You always see the positive in anything. All right. Drops Family Garden, Efficient, Lowe's, Lives. Just, yeah. My kid said, looked at jobs for graphic designer. Oh, okay. Let's see. Venezuela was not helped by being colonized by outside industries. Well, that's true. That's true. I'll argue with that. I think it's JFK Jr. A lot of questions about that. A lot of people think JFK Jr. is out there, but I don't know. I think that's, yeah, I'm with Lee on that. That's just too much. Why would he be dead and hidden so long and all at once he's coming out? That's kind of in there with all the 200,000 arrested were going to happen immediately just before the election or just before the inauguration. That stuff never happened. And they gave you all these people. And this one's been arrested, and this has been arrested, and this has been arrested, and this one's in Gitmo, and this one's in Gitmo. And none of that was so. Not one word of it. Not even close. So I think that JFK story fits in that venue. 107. Who is 107? Okay, now I don't know that one, Brandy. Oh, then Amber, Connor. Okay. Good. All right. Kendra says, good morning, everybody. Happy sunshine. Venezuela 2.0 here in the U.S. that's what they're trying to do. Not JFK like. There you go. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's rattling around, guys. You got to have some discernment about what you're reading these days. And even if it comes to you on a pretty website with a nice written letter, and and PhD doctors are talking about that, I mean it's so. I don't even mean it's close to being so. PhD doctors make a lot of mistakes, guys. They really do. Just having a PhD just means you're highly specialized in writing a dissertation on one topic. So they got real good tunnel vision in one area, or they had it when they wrote their paper. That don't mean that it extends to everything in the world. Q is poo. Yes. Yeah, psyop. That's what I've been saying here for a long time. It was all a psyop. So a lot of this stuff fits in that psyop. So what was that all about? Basically it was, don't worry about anything. Everything's taken care of. Don't worry, your pretty little head, just roll back over and go to sleep. We got it taken care of. So what did keep happening? It kept us from being the they, because we thought they were going to take care of it, right? So what I tell you, there is no they. They is us, we is they. You can't count on somebody else for this stuff. It's not there. It's not happening. That was a psyop. But it's a very sophisticated psyop. Makes you wonder who is really behind it. Very sophisticated psyop. And they put out a lot of sophisticated materials. That's why I said you can't rely on it just because it looks official. That it really is. There was so much stuff that went out, and a lot of people bought into it. Yeah. All right, let me catch up. I got to scroll back up to see some of these comments here. Valerie Moore. Whoever he is, he's wealthy, probably, or being well paid by somebody. Not a big okay. So Harold, let's see. Ruth King, Greg, George Kirby once said, "Don't buy food. It's cheaper to eat money." Yeah. Too many rabbit holes to shake a stick at. There you go. Fanika says, since when is Bill Gates a doctor? Yeah, no kidding. He's smarter than doctors. Bill Gates didn't even finish college, guys. Bill Gates didn't even finish college. Stay home, trust the plan, Ella. Exactly, Lee. Stay home, trust the plan. They actually did. They said that. They actually said that. Stay home. They repeated it several times. Interesting. Trust the plan. Everything Lee just said was part of what they were putting out. Is exactly what they were said. That's a direct quote. Believe nothing of what you hear, and sometimes read. Yeah, half what you see. That's right, Oldest Dirt. Now you're getting it. You probably had it all along. So what else we got here? Randy Kenner, he wanted to stop all these secret organizations. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Richard Bell, I'm not into Q, but I did see the head of the Special Forces say that the protocols in place to protect the United. Yeah, depends on how you define it. Guys, go look at the kind of stuff that Army Chief of Staff Mark Miley kept saying. 4-star general, who's Mark Miley, the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and the kind of stuff the whole entire Joint Chiefs of Staff put out. I remember Mr. O, previous president, fired hundreds of field grade officers and replaced them. And Trump never adjusted that, okay? So I think Q is CIA. Could be. It's high level, and they ran a very sophisticated operation. Whoever put that out. OG hires to show for him. So very sophisticated psyop they were running. So yeah, Bill Gates and Fauci are both responsible. Yeah, I can see that definitely. So protect my Americans first. So yeah. Hires doctor, yeah, you can hire anybody, that kind of money. You can hire anybody. So he gets a lot of people shilling for him. News media makes him, he's the darling. If you go on John Colbert's show, Colbert, whatever his name is, and if you're the darling on his show, you're trash in my opinion. If he dogs you and cuts you down, hey, you got promise. Anything, whatever comes on these late night entertainers, if they hate it, you should love it. If they love it, you should hate it. It's like the old movie critics. I used to say, if the movie critics dog a movie, break the doors down to the theater by all means and get in there and watch that movie. But if they hate it, but if they love a movie, don't even bother to watch the previews. Don't even watch the trailers. Those would be boring movies. So, Fanika, yeah, you got mad cash. You can be anything. Yeah, they can own presidents. They have to be president. They are going to come after our, You're right. You're right. That's what they want to do. So we right now have the biggest test domestically we've had in our society, guys. We're being tested. They're coming. They want to come after every liberty because they tell us that liberty and freedom, the right to speak, the right to peacefully assemble, is anti-social justice. How can you have social justice if you don't have the right to petition government for your grievance? That's what I ask. Yep, he's right. He gutted the military. He sure did. At the top. I don't trust Bell and malicious Gates. There you go. The gates of where. Dams were raised as pig and elk hounds. Okay. PPL still falling for that. Yep, they are. They are, Lord Child. Because what happens is they miss the date they said certain things will happen by. Then they come up with some other excuse. Well, it's going to be over here. Then when that date comes, well, it's going to be over here. So now they're talking about 4 March. They just keep moving the goalpost. But how do people just keep buying this? Every time what they said was going to happen here don't happen, and they move the goalpost, people just keep following. They move the goalpost again. Move the goalpost again. How, it's just strange, But they will. People just keep following that stuff. So maybe we help wake people up to see us. They have taken conservatives in America and totally emasculated them, essentially. Just totally taking away all their interest in doing anything because it's all taken care of. You don't have to worry about anything. It's all good. It's all taken care of. How many times I was told that? Going to have a circle back. Grilled cheese and bowl of soup. Hey, that sounds good, Lord Child. I got in from running to the gas station grocery store, and I just grabbed a bowl of ice cream. It's the quickest thing I could grab before we did this meeting. But now I'm hungry. I think I got to eat some chili, and I got to go in the greenhouse and fuel up and fire up my bullet shop heater again, Mr. Bell. I know the Pentagon is bureaucrats and tied into the military industrial complex. So when the head of the special forces told civilian leaders to bypass the Pentagon and report directly to him. Yeah, that was interesting. But I didn't see nothing come out of it. Brainwashing is a terrible thing. Yeah, it is, Jeff. We have national mass hypnosis coming out of the mass media. Mass hypnosis. Fall back. There you go, Lee. That's what he needs to do. Shut up and fall back. Or just shut the heck up. How about that, cute? Just shut up. You got nothing to say. Nothing we want to hear. I just somebody watching blame stream media. So I think even ballot tabulator stations. Yeah. I don't know. I wonder what George Bush thinks of all this. Well, they're globalist guys. The Bushes are. Don't doubt it for a minute. They're globalist. Big time. Some people can't resist a carrot. Imitate donkey. Harold Denton. Great Danes were indeed used as big game dogs in France. I don't doubt that. Big dog. Big dog. to compare how they were cast and counted. Like a man soap opera, feels like WWF changed modes and went to computer riddles. Man soap opera, old as dirt. Says they will trip just doing that. Okay. All righty. Well, guys, we've had a pretty good chat tonight. I hope I'm not going to kill my channel talking some of these topics. I don't know if they're going to take this video. So Wolfman Jackal, the people read, take it because their testosterone is too low, fluoride too high. Yeah, you may be on something there, buddy. You may be on something. Don't drink the domestic industrial tap water, guys. The municipal water. If you got to have it, at least filter it. Get that chunk out. All right. Now, Great Danes are interesting dogs, that's for sure. My bloodhound weighs 150 pounds. He is huge. Sweet, stubborn boy. It's like a bloodhound. Like a old southerner. All the politicians are on the same side. They are. They argue back and forth. Yeah, it's all theater. All theater. Why Biden says America last. Did he say that? Did actually Biden say that? If he did, that's crazy. I'd like to get that on video. George Bush Littler. Yeah, you're pretty on it. Greg, send me an email when you sign off. All right, Lee. I think I got you in my email stuff somewhere. We can do a video chat. When you want to do it, Lee? New days get you some huge a lot of Alaska Malamutes. I love Alaska Malamutes. Beautiful. Beautiful. My new server, okay. Oh yeah, I need to set up a server for myself. Hey Lee, are you following who is this? Been talking about servers a lot in our community. What's his name? He does a lot of religious broadcast. You know what I'm talking about, Lee. Who are we talking about? Starts with a B, right? His name does. I'm getting brain lock right now. Oh well. Adam says, man, I like to be a fly on the wall. Yeah, you'd probably puke on that wall if you heard some of the stuff they say. You know, one of these days we're going to have robots that are no bigger than a fly, and we'll figure out a way to make them run with energy. We'll be able to get those robots anywhere because everybody be spying on everybody then. Valerie, my female Dane didn't slobber too much. Looking forward to not using city water. There you go. I'm not tracking him. You know what I'm talking about. Dadgummit. His name almost came to my mind there. He hips up that thing they had in the desert where they all got hit by SWAT team. You know what I'm talking about, Lee. When that SWAT team went after all the guys after him. Yeah, that's it. Derek Bros setting up the server. That's what I was trying to think of. It started with a B. Soul's Eye. Derek Bros set up. No, he actually also did some videos that give you some tips about setting up your own server, but he's setting up his too. So that's probably the way a lot of us need to go here if we're going to have a chance of surviving for a while longer. Biden did say he's not going to comment on China. I thought he did it. It's just cultural difference. Okay, Adolf, anything you want to do, buddy? I wonder if that's why they named meat tenderizer Adolph's. I don't know. Does that have anything to do with what happened? That's kind of gross, though, isn't it? Oh, I thought he pushed back on him a little bit. Who knows? Don't be busting part, farmer. Daddy Bush seemed to take out Colby. Yeah, I heard Biden's favorite okra is Clemson Spineless. Red and spineless. There we go, Brandy. Oh my gosh. So summer, if I get some okra, I'm gonna call it Biden okra. It's red and spineless. George Rotwell has got better. Can you purchase robot mosquitoes? Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. One day. One day. It's gonna be scary. Few days when I was a teenager in the 70s, my friend Skip Church family had a 160-pound male Great Dane, Bobo. Solid black, all right. Oh, $6,000 surgery on your bloodhound. Y'all. Poor feller, didn't make it. Richard Bell, you can't fix this government. Well, there's a whole lot of people agreeing with you, buddy. All right, what else we got here? Well, guys, let's see what time it is. 1:05. Jeff Allen says we could easily save what's left of the planet with hemp cannabis. Well, I'm hearing that it makes an interesting substitute for graphene in the supercapacitors. Supercapacitor analog of a battery, basically, using supercapacitors in lieu of batteries. And I'm hearing that it's outperforming graphene somehow. I haven't really delved into that, but that would be interesting to see how it could pull that off, because graphene is, just a single atom thick, and it's an amazing material. All right, guys, I got a couple things to do, and I got to get out the greenhouse tonight. I don't think it's going to cave in on me tonight. We haven't got any snow right now, but it's getting cold. I just bought some fuel to run out there. See how that was funny is seeing a 150 to 80-pound person and Great Dane. Oh, okay. Decided to go after squirrel. Is it one? Oh, okay. Want to go to the beer store. Did you miss the beer store because of me? Well, hey, you got a sober moment at least. At least you got to laugh, right? Hold on, Greg. Let us send you dinner. Well, how you gonna do that? You beam it to me. Kinder, wake up and eat eggs with us. There you go. Now this is fried green Gregs and ham, right? And get some ham. I need to sit here and eat ham during one of these sessions one night with some eggs. Maybe put some food coloring and make them green. People don't own Great Danes. There you go. The dog owns a person, I bet. And pyrolysis, the finest fibers from hemp become graphene. Oh, okay. Ooh. I wonder if you can make graphene and sheets better that way. Hey, appreciate the live, the super chat there, Chris. Appreciate it, buddy. Appreciate that. Really do. All right. So, man, Brandy, he may see. He may be different, but he's still the same as the rest. He wants you to. He wants to rule you and be your master. Yeah, too many of them. And New Days always says Rocket Man has seen pics of my big goons. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I get a lot of stuff from a lot of you guys. Appreciate it. And Oregon Coast Green Man, graphene, what a portion of them does. Okay. Go back on news for today. I'm gonna have to go back and really look at the news, because Lee's been pointing out and look like all kind of stuff's been happening. That's what happens. I lay off checking the news for a rare occasion, and the whole world comes on loose. Kinder Wayne. Kinder says we probably know her family. Talking to one of us. Me? Maybe. Where you at, Kinder? All right. How about where everybody's at? Let's go through where everybody's at. Hempcrete houses also draw carbon out of the air. That's interesting, because making concrete puts carbon in the air, right? Maybe I'll neutralize it. All right. I'm in Alabama. How about and Arizona? But currently in Alabama. All right, guys, where you at? Let's get a quick. I know where Lee's at. He's in Colorado. All right. I'm a man. I'm in Tennessee. Okay, Kendra. Good. Maine. New days, old ways up in Maine. Hey, I got a. Oh, I know who you are. Sorry about that. I'm slow tonight. Yeah. Dear friend up in Maine. Angela, Washington State. Oregon. Hey, new days, old ways. Maybe starting us a tribe up there. Maybe Ringgold, Georgia. Yeah, I've had some of my balloon projects land in Ringgold area. Launch it here and it comes down to Ringgold. Currently in Mississippi, but home is Colorado. All right, Frozen World. Utah, Georgia, Georgia. We got a couple of Georgia folks in here. My dad was born in Georgia. We used to people come out here in Alabama from Georgia and be driving around slow and sunny. And just like sightseeing. We call them Georgia crackers. I don't know who's ever heard that story. All righty, guys. Let's see. I've been growing my garden in food grade barrels. That's a good thing to do. Mulch only. That's pretty smart, Ruth King. But that's the Texas. It's all moving. Yeah, you're just camping out there, Vicky. Oregon. All right, so not Oregon. Oregon, not Oregon. Oregon. Woo, Georgia. Marietta, okay. Martin Marietta. Alrighty, folks. Yes, sir. 55 acres been developed in a private retreat with medical gardens. That's right. That's right. I know about your projects. New days, always. Smart lady there. Smart lady. And a lot of good stuff there. So, doing a lot of good stuff in her community. She's on top of it. Yeah, maybe I have to get up to Oregon. Not Oregon. Maine. I got to get up there one day. Oregon, too. I've never been to Maine. I've been to Oregon. Never been to Maine. Greg, mine too. Family there. Okay. Oregon. Yep. I can say it. Been there. Of course, one of the strangest places I ever started to stay one night was called Wolf Creek. That place freaked me out. I left. Hatfinger Farm. Near you, up north. Okay. I'll be quiet. Alrighty, guys. We got any prayer requests? We need to wrap up. I got some dragons breathing outside my door. I need to go out and put some stoppers in her nostrils for them. Go out there and wrestle one or two of them. You go to Oregon. I'm not far, Greg. You stop in to see me. All right, Richard Bell. I hadn't been up that way in a while. Been a while since I've been up that way. Yeah, Oregonian. There you go. So is I. Oregon. Yep, Valerie. I know where Wolf Creek is. Now they got a campground there, right? So is I. Oh, I'll tell you this. When I was driving down from Alaska, it was late one night. We were getting tired. We'd been driving for a good while. And, I drove down to Dawson Creek at the end of the Alaska Highway. And instead of turning east and going down straight for Alabama, I turned the opposite direction. I turned west and went down the Fraser River Canyon into Vancouver. And then I drove south to through Washington State and south through Oregon. Okay, Oregon. And I got to, it was late and we were starting to look for a place to camp out. We really pushed it too far. Starting to get late. Not real late, but, for going to the campground. We had a long drive and I had wife and little boy. You know, my son was about 3, and I had a little baby girl, wasn't even 1 year old yet. And well, they did have a campground. It was lost in fires this summer. Oh my gosh. Yeah, they had all these tall trees there. I remember that. Tall trees. But we pulled off the road. It's this campground, Wolf Creek. We pulled off the road and drove in this little town, little community. It's one of these places, if you blinked, you'd miss it. Every building was painted white. Everything painted white. Buildings, picket fences. Every door and every window was open. Every light was on. I mean, there's a store or two, probably more than a store or two. A store or two, a few houses. Every light was on. Every window was open. Every door was open. We didn't see a soul. And I'm getting this Rod Serling kind of film. But, the average American town, it was just an average American town, white picket fence, literally. And I'm getting creeped out already. And I was like, wow, what is this? All the doors are open. There wasn't a soul running around. We didn't see anybody. And yeah, you remember driving past it once. Pray for Katie. We'll pay for Katie, Graham. So, and the sign was the campground was back behind this community. So we drove back down this little road to get to this campground. And I had to drive through this field to get down to it. And then we got to this place, and this big iron gate. And it said that the gates would be closed at midnight. Okay. So we drove through the gate, and I'm driving down another long road, and there's this big forest there, and I'm getting the willies like I ain't never had in my life. It's like, man, it's like eyeballs in the woods watching us or something. It's like, wow, we're gonna get in here in this weird community. We don't see nobody, and they're gonna shut the gates on us. And I'm driving along. That just started playing on my mind. So, oh heck no! I turned around and got the heck out of there. So, nope, I ain't staying here tonight. All right, Lee says we fought the sour biscuit fire in the town of Cave Junction, Oregon. Okay. So yeah, I didn't want nothing to do with that place. I got the heck out of there. It might have been fine. Might have been just fine. Maybe there's something had everybody in the town distracted that night. I don't know what was happening. Atlanta has passed the debauchery of New York in the 80s. Ooh, that's sad. That's sad. That is sad. Yeah, places go down. So, I don't know, guys, what do you think about Wolf Creek, the story I had? So, Zai, what do you think? Was I just freaking out too much? All right, so what Wolfman Jack will say up here. And myself to keep home and get some work. I almost lost $7,000 in rent. Ooh. Wow. As long as it's pretty as rooftops, Smoky Mountains. I want to see the mountains. Oregon, all have Sasquatch activity in their area, says Harold Denton. Shoot, there's Sasquatch activity here in Alabama. Wolf Creek is a strange place, says Chewy. You been there, Chewy? I don't know. I got the willies. I also knew there was certain, back then it was when there was a few cults in Oregon at the time. I didn't know what was going on. It just freaked me out, gave me the willies. Don't go to Durango unless you're rich. All right, guys, we're going to pray for Kaylee. That's Granny's granddaughter. And my husband's time next week, kind of scary. All right, so I love your story. No, you may not have been freaking out too much. Lots of paranormal stuff in Wolf Creek. There's all these stories about people coming up missing. Yeah, I did not feel comfortable. I had the willies. I did not feel comfortable. Paranormal stuff in Wolf Creek. I did not feel good there. It was just too weird for me. So I'm getting that. I want to be locked in here behind these gates, lock me in there at nighttime. I didn't know jack diddle about that community. It was going off the charts in me. All my little warning bells are saying, get out, get out, get out, get out, get out now, turn around. And I finally started listening. I turned around and left. I had never had the willies like that anywhere before. And I have slept in some strange places, but that place gave me the willies. Thanks to the prayers. All right, guys. Let's do a little prayer session here. I have only 2 horses left. We have a Wolf Creek here, mountainous area. Okay, Valerie, where's your? Now there are other Wolf Creeks. Where you at, Valerie? All right, you gotta remember to pray for Kaylee, guys. Let's pray for the people in Texas. All right, yeah, so that was an odd town. That was really odd, really odd. Yeah, I just felt like demonic forces were there. I don't know. Very good. There's been a lot of Bigfoot and Sasquatch and dogman activity in Alabama, Mississippi, northern Georgia, eastern Tennessee, western North Carolina, and eastern. Yeah. You ever heard of the bat-tailed monster, Harold? That's a story I used to hear up around Fort Payne. Time to let it out. Ooh. Strange stuff happens all the time around us. Yeah, you may be right there, my friend in Maine. my fellow redhead. So we can chat tomorrow, Greg. Okay, very good. Your number, all right, I'll email it to you. Surprised you don't have my number already. Okay. Fourth kind, yeah, maybe some of that. Like I said, I think that stuff's demonic, guys. I think it really is. Whatever it is. Still 200,000 without power in Oregon right now. Oh boy. Let's pray for the people in Oregon. Oregon. Let's pray for the people in Texas. And Kaylee. So we'll do a quick little prayer here, and then everybody pray according to your own method and way of praying, your own faith. I don't have a religious channel here, but I do believe in the power of collective intention and the collective prayer. All right, guys, let's just kind of have a moment of silence here. Oh, Valerie, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Valerie. Thank you. Healing for Kaylee. Amen. Healing for Kaylee. Guys, we can also pray when we go to bed. You can pray at any time, any moment. There are more things in heaven and earth than are dreamt of in our philosophies. Amen to that. Yes. Amen. So, all right, guys. I think we can call it a night. I really do now. So I want to say thank you all for being here. Thank you all, my Swivelhead subscribers. Let's keep our eyes wide open, head on the swivel, like I tell you guys. I always do that. A lot of stuff Lee is saying right now. Holy smoke. Yow. The world is going crazy. It's been getting crazier every week, seems like. Crazy piled on crazy. So the time is to keep your eyes wide open now. Do everything you can to prep. Go buy, if you can afford food, get water. Now, remember, water is more important. You can only live 3 days without water. So make sure you got good water, ways to obtain water, ways to filter and purify water. And watch my videos on that. Water is paramount. Once you can secure water, you don't have to carry water-bearing food. A lot of weight in that. Cans are hard. You can carry, you got 2 servings in here. You got something the size and weight of this that's flexible in a pouch. It's got 4 servings because they don't have any water in it. So, or the prepwithgrade.com or whatever else. Now you can always do dried rice, dried beans. That's cheap. Get all that you can. The rice though is carby. The beans aren't. So beans are also a good thing to get and store. Put up. I'll have to do a video about that topic, about storing such goods. But do what you can. Get ready, guys. And look, if nothing happens, then you got some reserve stores to fall back on, even for bad weather. And you can eat them over time with the increase in food prices. You've made an investment. Just make sure you eat it and not vermin. So that's part of what we're going to talk about one day in the not too distant future on that topic. So take care. Prep. I'm not looking at this page that's got all the chat wrong. I'm actually looking straight into Zoom right now. I'm getting ready to end the session. I'll go ahead and check all that later, guys. But sometimes it still rolls for a minute after I end this. So, because there's a delay. But, and that's one thing is when I do these live sessions, it's hard to tell when the session's actually started. So you see channels, guys just standing around, not realizing they're on live. It's kind of hard sometimes to know exactly when that stuff starts. But appreciate all y'all. Y'all take care. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. Keep your eyes wide open and head on a swivel, my friends. I know you will. So good night, everyone.